guys remember when you were a kid and your parents would say, hey, we got good news, we got bad news. Which one do you want first? I don't know about you guys, but I was always the kid that said, you know what, just get it over with. Give me the bad news first. And that's what I'm doing for you guys today. Now, what is that bad news, you ask? Well, Aaron Rodgers most likely is about to head to Pittsburgh. Okay, now it's not official yet. And knowing the pretentious person, to put it kindly, that Aaron Rodgers is, I don't expect it to be official for, honestly, the next couple of weeks. However, with the news that came down last night, broken by yours truly, Adam Schefter, Russell Wilson, 1-year deal, $21 million to the New York Giants. So it looks like the Giants have given up on the Aaron Rodgers experience, leaving retirement, the Pittsburgh Steelers, and maybe the Minnesota Vikings, although I doubt they're legitimately in it, which means that most likely Aaron Rodgers is going to be a Pittsburgh Steeler in the next couple of weeks. I'm going to tell you the good news in just a little bit and break down a little bit more of the Aaron Rodgers era that's about to come to Pittsburgh. But before that, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button because we are so close to 29.5 thousand subscribers. We're currently sitting at 29,469. Nice. We are 31 subs away from getting there, and we need to get it on today's video. So if you haven't already, help me out. Do me a solid by hitting that sub button. Let's get to 29.5K. So why is this bad? Well, plain and simple, Aaron Rodgers is an upgrade from Russell Wilson. Okay, and I know a lot of you guys might see Aaron Rodgers, see his age, the fact that he kind of took a pretty big step back last year than what we've all been known to see of the 4-time MVP, but still, at the end of the day, Aaron Rodgers is a better quarterback than Russell Wilson. They both played under Nathaniel Hackett. Russell Wilson did it in 2022. Aaron Rodgers did it most recently in 2024. And it's very hard to be a quarterback under Nathaniel Hackett. And that's kind of why I think Aaron Rodgers struggled so much and why Russell Wilson struggled when he played under him 2 years ago. But if you look at their numbers, Rodgers was still better in every single category. Touchdown percentage, points per game, completion percentage, passer rating, turnover-worthy play percentage. That's always going to be down for Russell Wilson. So, yeah, he had a down year in 2024, but I don't think that the jury's out and the narrative's over for Aaron Rodgers, okay? I still think that there's a chance he's still got a good bit left in the tank. When you're a quarterback, how you know a quarterback is fading at the end of Tom Brady's time, at the end of Brett Favre's time, the end of Matt Ryan's time, all of those legendary quarterbacks we grew up watching, Drew Brees, Peyton Manning in there as well, you knew it was over when their arm talent, their arm strength started to fade. That's not the case for Aaron Rodgers yet. It will be, okay? He's not, immortal. It's going to come soon enough. It might come this year with Pittsburgh, but it hasn't happened yet. So what say you? Let me know in the comment section. Do you think Rodgers will be a Steeler? Give me a yes, give me a no, weigh in, and give me your answer. Pittsburgh has had a very busy free agency, okay? They've gotten better. Let's just talk about it, and let's just say that plain and simple, okay? DK Metcalf, they added him in a trade. They added Darius Slay. They took Malik Harrison, Kenneth Gainwell, Scotty Miller, Brandon Eccles. They've been adding all over the place. They've made a ton of moves. I think it's around 12 moves total that Omar Khan and the Pittsburgh Steelers have made. But you look at the roster, how it sits right now, especially in the wide receiver room and the cornerback room with the DK Metcalf and Darius Slay additions, you can admit that this is a better team this year than it was last year. Now, they might have gotten worse in some areas, but I think in the areas they struggled in, they took a pretty big step up. Now, I will say there is a silver lining with the Aaron Rodgers news. And again, it's not official. Probably won't be for the next couple of weeks. But no matter who you have at quarterback for Pittsburgh, I think there's a chance they're still going to struggle for two reasons. Number one, their offensive line sucks. It sucks. And their left tackle, Dan Moore Jr., who led up 12 sacks, was awful, just got poached by the Tennessee Titans, so now they're without their starting left tackle as well. So no matter who's there at quarterback, it could be prime Joe Montana, it could be Aaron Rodgers of 2007, I don't care, okay? Because their offensive line isn't good enough. And Aaron Rodgers, with his age, with his lack of mobility, if your offensive line isn't good, if you can't play football from inside of the pocket because you don't have time, then, I'm not that worried about it. Also, Arthur Smith is still their offensive coordinator. He's awful. He shouldn't have a job. I wouldn't trust him to coach my third grade Pee Wee football team. I get it. Like I said off the top, Aaron Rodgers is better than Russell Wilson. They got better at quarterback. They got better at wide receiver. But it still doesn't really scare me because of their offensive line and who they've got calling the shots and Arthur Smith. Okay? We got a lot more to talk about. I got to give you the good news. Okay? So stick around for that. But before that, let me give you some pre-good news. This polo is 40% off, okay? Chatsports.com/Ravens Polo. That's where you've got to go to snag this amazing deal. It's $55. Now it's only $33. You're not going to find a better deal anywhere else. It's comfortable. It looks good. It feels good. And you can support the best while wearing the best, okay? And if you do make that purchase using chatsports.com/Ravens Polo, we can see a little bit of the proceeds as well, which is very, very appreciated. So head over there right now, $33, snag this polo. Of course, the link to this promo will be in the comments and description of today's video. All right, let's talk about the good news. You waited long enough, I'm giving it to you. Your quarterback is still better. Okay, I don't think they could have signed a quarterback in the National Football League that wouldn't have been the second part of this graphic. Maybe Patrick Mahomes. That's it. They signed Josh Allen. I'm still saying Lamar Jackson's better. Okay, sure, they upgraded a quarterback, going from Russ to Rodgers. But our quarterback is still a tier above, probably 2 or 3 tiers above a 40-year-old Aaron Rodgers. I get it. They improved. But the talent gap between who they've got and who we've got, it's still very big. And if you're a Steelers fan, and you're watching this, first off, you're insane. Second off, you're probably thinking to yourself, Joey, why are you talking all that smack? Lamar Jackson sucks against the Steelers. He used to. He obviously got over that hump. Because in Week 17 and in the wild card round of the playoffs, he averaged a 70% completion percentage, 382 yards, 5 touchdowns, and 1 pick. So in my opinion, it seems like Lamar Jackson's kind of gotten over that hump, that Mike Tomlin hump that he's been facing his entire career. I think he's past that. So sure, they're probably going to sign A-Rod. But if you look at these two teams compared to each other, these two offenses compared to each other, you are still better at quarterback. You are miles better at running back. I know every single one of us would rather have Derrick Henry than Jaylen Warren. Your offensive line is way better. The only spot that they're better than you at is probably wide receiver 1. And I still bet there are some people out there who would argue that Zay Flowers is better than DK Metcalf. I'm not one of them, but I'm still very happy with where you are at your wide receiver. The gap is not as big in that position group as it is for any of the other ones. So you're still better than Pittsburgh. Flat out, plain and simple, it's easy to see when you look at it right there, okay? Now you do need to add defensively, especially on the defensive line. They're better than you. They're linebackers. Okay, I love Roquan Smith, but after him, is there any guy on this roster we have a ton of confidence in? They're probably better there. Cornerbacks, they've got a little bit more depth. We're better in the safety room. Okay, so defense kind of goes back and forth. But if you're looking at it from an offensive perspective, from a point-scoring perspective, I don't think this changes much going into 2025. So let me know in the comment section, will the Ravens sweep the Steelers in 2025? They haven't done it in a very long time. Is this the year the curse finally gets broken? If you think so, give me a hell yes in the comment section down below by typing HY. And if you think no, give me an HN. As always, appreciate you guys for tuning in and watching every single one of these videos. This was a fun one. Sure, they got better. I don't care at all. I'm so excited to face off against Aaron Rodgers twice a year. I mean, love beating the Steelers. Beating the worst player and the worst attitude in the National Football League is going to make that a little bit sweeter. Before y'all get out of here, make sure to hit that sub button.